Hey everyone, welcome to episode 58 of Thin Line Defense, a place where we play games and the points don't matter.
I think that's a coin statement. I don't think you can say that.
Yeah, whose line is it anyway?
We're done.
Something like that.
We're done.
The
and now you use their name.
Like, whoop, it's gone.
Welcome everyone. For those of you that are joining us for the first time, we are Thin Line Defense, gear review channel that thinks we can, I don't know, play with the big boys sometimes. We have a lot of fun doing what we do. And happy to be here with you guys to just chat and have a good time, talk about the videos from the past week, and just talk about what's on your mind. Tons of comments already. Always appreciate the comments. Yep. And just for those of you, again, that are joining us, I will constantly be 15 to 20 minutes behind the comments, so apologies in advance.
I'm
glad to see my favorite libertarian here.
I'm super annoyed. I'm jumping ahead in comments. Archangel's talking about he's got his children's attack. I don't know why he said a children's attack pack belt.
Oh, I don't know if the game's
I don't know why you jump ahead.
Wizard Demnies, Wizard Tax.
Yes.
It
starts. Thank you, gentlemen and ladies. I don't know who did that comment.
Now.
So for those of you also who have not been here before, Joe plays a drinking game that anytime, for some reason, on the live chat, it comes up here. So people that are members that have access to our, what are they, GIFs?
Yeah.
But on here
like
it shows up like this.
Emojis, like member
emojis.
Emojis.
Little emojis. Yeah. So this is what it shows up as. So I read them off as is, and Joe will be drunk by the end of the live chat.
Yeah. I limit myself to 2 beer. I got to get up and go to work tomorrow.
Oh no, Arcangel.
So once you see this,
he got a belt, but it's child sized. Okay, message them and get that switched out, please. But that's good news for me because I'm making my belt before you.
The one that works and fits.
He's like,
I'm curious. So he says, that thing is tiny.
Is this on Discord or something that I missed? I've been busy.
Yeah, he said check Discord.
Oh, okay. I'm looking right now.
I'll drop a link into our Discords so you guys can join us there for chats and things like that if you're not already. Angry Sarge says, Wizard Dance Magic, Wizard Dance Magic, Wizard Dance Magic, Wizard plus 1 level, Wizard Demnies, Wizard Tack Earth, Wizard Truth Boogs.
After today, I need this drinking game. Like, no joke. No joke. I got home at 7:08, jumped in the shower, and came right down here. I haven't eaten. Like, I've had a couple snacks throughout the day, and I worked a 12-hour day in the cold.
Get some food while we're talking. That's like the best time for this.
The wife is at Walmart buying one of the ready-made pizzas to put in the oven. I'm looking forward to that. I'm gonna eat half of that giant pizza.
So Ironside Army says bad and bougie battle belt bro channel.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm trying to look at this video, the picture from Archangel.
Caleb says it's just travel size, Archangel.
It does seem a little small.
Nick saying, who's buying the Spiritus MKV tomorrow? No one.
So I finally had a chance to take a look at the Spiritus Systems MKV, and I'm already prepped and ready to say something nice about him. But we've really had a chance to see some really interesting chest rigs, and it really just hurts my brain when someone says hey, we spent 2 years designing this, and we took 2 pockets and made 1 pocket, and we put Molly on it. But this took us 2 years to design. I'm not a big fan. Their mag retention is probably some of the worst. So yeah, you have a bunch of slots for mag retention, but it's crap compared to the new stuff that if you want to use the same stuff from 1965, perfect. They put it in there. But I don't get it. I'll be honest, I don't get it. The MK4 is tons better because of what you can do with it. But even the defense mechanisms placards that we all run are the next evolution of the MK4. Yeah.
Yep. Harry says Walsh wearing a chest rig, LOL.
So this is also from Tracer Tactical. I'm going to be showing you guys this along with an actual whole plate carrier setup. It's really, really awesome. It's all in Moab. We do have a discount code for Tracer Tactical, and you guys are never going to guess what our discount code is. I'll type it in though.
Probably 10 TLD.
Yeah, we're going to mix it up.
Yeah.
But we're going to be doing a lot of stuff with Tracer. We got to see them over at SHOT Show. I really love his stuff. He's just a guy doing it like he's like us, like doing videos and stuff at his home time, trying to make it all work, and then just making some crazy stuff. He takes the idea of a plate carrier and a placard, instead of being like, okay, here's a plate carrier, and I'm going to slap a placard on it. He takes the idea of a placard that then gets built into the plate carrier. It's really pretty cool. I think he needs to streamline some of the bits and how you put it all together, but we're going to go through it all together and I'll show it off. And I think you're going to be impressed. I really love this stuff. And you got the crazy colors. I
started following him on Instagram, and I just love the videos that he puts on. He shows you, he's one of the few channels that I see on, or one of the places on Instagram where he'll walk you through exactly in videos. Like if you want to do a plate carrier chest rig setup through him, you buy these things, and then this is how you put it together. It's very informative. Dude's awesome. And I think he's a ex-Marine.
Yeah.
Ex-Army guy? I forgot.
And he used to do some sort, like what's funny is he used to do some sort of insurance or something. I don't know exactly what it was, but here's like stories he's got where he gets interviewed where he's like, yeah, I would get all gillied out. And I would go just to do recon on folks to make sure they're doing what they're supposed to do. It's like, like, could you imagine? Like, I saw you walking around mowing your lawn. Like,
yeah,
how? Like,
why is that bush moving, Dad?
Yeah, I was in the yard.
Zach says, "Do I hear a duck?" It's probably my kids in the background. I apologize. They got home late. Quarantine Catholic says, "Some fanboy for them got sassy," was one of my comments. Yeah, if you say anything negative about Spiritist,
yeah, you are shunned.
Yeah,
you shall be shunned. That's been the whole thing. Like Welsh did an honest review on something, and they never once said a word to us. Of all the stuff that Welsh reviewed and all the nice things that he said and everything that he did, they never said a word to us. Right, Walsh? Correct me if I'm wrong. They never gave you anything. They never said a word to you.
I even promoted their stuff. I even promoted their stuff all the time, and they never even acknowledged it.
He spent his own personal money on everything that he reviewed and everything. Said all the things about them. Never a word. And then he said he made one review that he said he didn't like this thing, and it was gloves off. And then people are saying that they want to punch him in the face.
In all fairness, he was an a-hole in that.
He was. But
rightfully so. I mean, it's not wrong.
Yeah, I think rightfully so too. All you had to do was stick a piece of Velcro on the back, and it would have been compatible with both your plate carrier and your chest rig.
But they didn't want. They didn't want to do that.
But they spent years developing it, and
and it's kind of interesting because I actually just ordered one. So Tracer Tactical, who we were just talking about, they actually make an attachment or an adapter so you can adapt your thing 1 and thing 2 into your plate carrier. Weird. So you have companies that are profiting off of the problems with that design on the thing 1 and thing 2.
but if you say anything about it, then you're the one that's wrong. And
right.
Then you have real grown adults literally telling other companies that they want to punch somebody in the face. Like, let's do this.
And what's crazy is they only care if you have negative things to say. Like I had some things I had from them, like, hey, I really like this. But here's
I know, like your third or fourth video from them. Or
my last one, I was like, hey, this is really good. I actually really like this thing, even though it's wildly overpriced. I really like it, and I think you could do some really cool things with it. And here's what you could do with it. Not even one single anything, and they just lost their mind about the thing 1, thing 2 video. And that thing's a piece of trash. So
it just is what it is. Like, I love Dodge. I'm not gonna say that the Dodge Neon's the best car ever made. Like, I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah. They make some
what
good
about
stuff
the
and
SRT?
they make some crappy stuff. Like, that's all companies. You don't have to be so
cool for what it was.
Anything like anything. No matter about it politically, for brand wise, whatever it is, you don't have to just love everything they put out on the knob for you to suck on. Like, you can hate some things.
Yeah,
you should be able to.
It's allowed.
Yeah,
it's allowed.
And I think anyway, we saw that with our interaction at SHOT Show with some of these companies, where again, like Spirit Systems were talking to other companies about wanting to punch you, and then other companies that they absolutely hated what you said about them, and they were open and honest with you, like, hey, it really bugged me when you said this, but here's why you were wrong with what you said. Like, it actually opened up discourse, and we were able to carry on a conversation with them about it.
Arbor Arms, I really I really made that guy mad, and he's super nice, he makes amazing gear, super amazing gear. So yeah, he did not like me. It's like, no, Walsh, you were wrong. Like, I was being nice.
So Nick is asking, Walsh, great point. What is your recommended chest rig / placard for a plate carrier?
And I'm gonna go. Joe's gonna love me for this. Mission dictates gear, so know what your mission is. And because of that, I say the defense mechanism modular placard, because you can actually change it for different design. I think everyone has a DM placard set up a little bit differently, and I think that's really the flexibility of it, that you can use a defense mechanisms placard. I have 3 of them. I think it's one of the rare I have so many of. The Tracer Tactical is super nice. This is a little more custom made, whereas defense mechanisms is going to be a little more pieces you can make and custom build it. This is custom made, a little bit more pricey, a little bit more boutiquey, a little bit not necessarily higher quality level, but he's going to make it for you, so you're going to pay a little bit more for that. But if you want that custom tier, that's kind of what you go with Tracer. But defense mechanisms is just, man, they don't have an attachment that I can't think of. Like, I had that cool little, like, those cutters. They had like that cutter pouch. I'm like, oh, I'll get one of those. Like,
yeah. So for work, we sometimes we'll carry MP5s, and so they actually make, like, this is a AR-15 mag pouch. This is kind of what you build your base on, your placard off of. But they actually make one for SMG mags. So I thought I could set it up for my work carrier, get an SMG placard base, and then build off of that for what I need.
And you saw me put the Agilite AG pouch on there, the regular just kangaroo placard. Like, hey, just give me the Molly placard. I'll just slap this on there. Now I have this cool jumpable, pouches. They'll be like, I don't need this. I do need this.
I think if you know exactly what you want, it's never going to change, and you know exactly the loadout that you want, then go with something like Walsh wearing, where you have it custom made, and that's it, because you only need one of them, and you can still swap it out between plate carrier. But if you're like me, and you have like every caliber under the sun, and you want to swap things around and take things off, and I want more pistol heavy mags, or I want more AR mags, or like not Jason was saying, I want to swap that out for some machine gun mags or whatever, then DM is the way to go. It's like a Lego set. It's not.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the best because it leaves gaps in there, but there's no getting around that with the customization that you can do with it.
I'm with you. I wish there was a way, like, even if like the next layer had some sort of cuts that go backwards, but then it wouldn't always be compatible with the previous one. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it had some sort of like divider on the back side of it, so it could go to the magazines. But,
I mean, the little bit of gaps and stuff, it like this, right? So looking underneath, there's a big gap right here. Like, weeds and stuff are gonna get stuck to Velcro underneath the pistol mag patches, but I don't care, because I want to be able to swap this out.
Yeah.
So if you know exactly what you want and it's never gonna change, then go with a custom made one. If not, then that's the way to go. I'm just like, I think not Jason that way too, but I'm just like all of y'all. I wait for Walsh to review like 10 different things and then say, oh, this is the best thing ever. And then I go and buy it. That's why I only have 2 battle belts. One Walsh sent me, and the axle belt. That's all I have.
Yeah, I think I'm the only guy on the team that hasn't bought an axle belt. And it was kind of funny because I own an attack pack belt. That's what I use as my duty belt. And I think we saw their name or something at SHOT Show. I forgot how it came up. And it wasn't until we went over there that we saw their belt that looks like it's the axle belt, but a little better.
Mm-hmm. So I want to comment. So your favorite libertarian had commented on my favorite libertarian.
My favorite.
Yes. I'm super jealous that he did that OSS Huxworks.
Yeah, he said at 2 p.m., 2/22/22, I bought my first suppressor, went with the OSS / Huxworks HXQD 556 titanium. Thanks again for the recommendation. Having met those guys at SHOT Show, they were super cool, super nice, and they were very open and honest. Like, hey, the biggest con about our suppressors are their weight. So if that matters to you, the titanium is the way to go. But I think I sent my favorite libertarian a video that Huxworks has on their YouTube, where they actually tested it against the Surefire SOCOM, and it basically surpassed it in every single sense. Flash suppression, it was able to handle more rounds full auto. It just did everything better, it seemed like.
I'll tell you this. So I just finished my paperwork. So I did paperwork on a Sandman K and a Sandman S. And if you all have been following the drama, they're both now moving forward. One's e-file and one's regular file. One was stuck in limbo for forever. But if I were to start over, I probably would have just gone with the 556 Ti, even though it's a good bit more expensive. I think it's probably the heightened tier of the technology it cans right now.
And this is why I just wait for Welsh to make all the mistakes and then tell me what to buy.
And you're like, how do I get into trust with Walsh? Because then I get a silencer. Like, yeah right.
Yeah. So 12 Bravo says, "Where's Kodiak?"
He's sleeping.
So, sleeping. We don't know. I know he finished his schooling. He's got a new job that keeps him really busy. He's probably tired. Couldn't join us. Not sure when we're going to see him again.
Yeah, if he's watching, we love you, Cody.
Let's see here. Caleb says, I think he's hibernating. It is wintertime.
Yeah, I think so too.
Temperatures are in Nebraska. Michael Costanza says, "Can someone please give Joe a cuticle trimmer?"
I'm going to send him just like a fidget spinner.
Okay, so my job.
Before you go off, I want to let everyone know this is why we're 10 minutes behind. All right, go, Joe.
Yeah, my job. I was in today. I think it got the high temperature got like 12 degrees, and my hands were soaked in water and fuel multiple times today. So my finger are just like falling apart. Sorry, but I'm not sorry.
No, you have some toy all the time.
Oh yeah, dude, I have to. That's just who I am. That's how I pay the attention the most.
Quarantine Catholic says, "Spiritus is not local politics; they're child's play." I don't know.
I missed some of the comment. Maybe I should go back and see. I know she was talking about somebody making a nasty comment to her.
I think she was talking about a nasty comment that was made on, I don't know, some social media.
Oh.
And she'd asked Zach. Let me see if I can go back. She goes, "Hey, did you see? I hope you caught my retort. Must have been on a video or something."
Oh,
here we go. It was on the SHOT Show video, Spirit SHOT Show video. We haven't seen that one. We'll have to go check it out.
Was it their SHOT Show video or ours?
That's what I mean. Like your video, you're such a stand-up person during all of that. You're such a stand-up person.
Taking the high road.
Yep.
Taking the high road.
Zach
but says, I will agree with Spirit. Sometimes I want to punch you in the face too.
Yeah, but you have a good reason. They don't.
True.
I even said that. I think
you've known Walsh longer.
Hey, so I have a question for everybody in here. So my wife came to me last night and said, "Hey, you don't own your 1911. What brand is that?" And I was like, "A Colt." And she's like, "Well, there's a problem with something that starts with an S." And I was like, "Springfield Armory?" And she's like, "Yeah, I think that's it." And I said, "What problem?" And she said, rounds, cases, whatever, rounds are getting stuck in there, and people, when they're disassembling it or trying to clean it or trying to get it unstuck, are shooting themselves, and it's getting really bad. That it's a known problem with Springfield 1911. I've never heard of this. And I chalked it up as people being idiots and not properly clearing a firearm before they try to disassemble a firearm. Yeah. Has anybody else heard anything else? Is there an actual problem?
I've never heard this for Springfield, but I have seen a couple people who on quite a few of some newer firearms where they didn't actually, like, they would actually clear they'd rack the slide, and they were even at the range and then pull the trigger in a round fires because it wasn't actually catching and ejecting the round.
Yeah, I mean, 1911, if you have an internal extractor, carbon can build up in there and prevent it from actually catching onto the round. Everybody knows that, I think. You actually have to take out the extractor and clean behind it. We all know that, but I don't know. On a 1911, you don't have to drop the hammer to disassemble it, so I'm really confused. So I came downstairs and got brass, like fired brass, and showed her like, no, look, I do a physical and visual inspection of my gun every time when I unload them and the whole 9 yards. Like a striker fire kind of makes sense. You have to pull the trigger to disassemble it, but I mean the 4 cardinal rules, and you have to break 2 of them for something bad to happen, right?
Right.
Okay.
I haven't heard that yet.
I didn't know if this was a phenomenon that I just wasn't catching up with, because I'm still looking at Springfield 1911s.
So yeah, I don't know. Let's see if so Ironsight says, just got a Bees combat system, chest rig, placard set up. I want to get the Tracer tactical rig in Copperhead pattern. I think that's a cool pattern.
Sounds
dude,
cool.
Welcome, dude. He says, I don't like every product that a company makes, usually only a few. It's unfair to be expected to always say good things. Yeah, and there's times where you've said like you've loved a product and you're like, I feel like I have to find something bad to say about this product just to try to be fair.
Yeah. And listen, I don't like any company that only ever has good things said about them. Like I get super sketched out. Like Safe Life, no offense, nobody says anything bad. I'm already immediately sketched out. Hard-headed Veterans, I'm a little bit sketched out. Like they don't necessarily have any bad reviews. That's just not real life. Somebody always dislikes something. So,
I think that's why Safe Light won't answer our emails.
They know.
Yeah, they
They know
know
what's coming.
they're like,
asking. He says, HRT, good dudes. Looking at that Maximus for my medic setup. Awesome guys.
Awesome.
I met Chris first time at SHOT Show. I know Walsh had talked to him a lot, but he was just a pleasure to talk to. And then when he told us, hey, go downstairs, he was at the Battle Arms development booth. And he was like, hey, if you go downstairs, stop by our booth, let them know that I told you to swing by. And so when we get there, the guy was like, who are you yahoos? We wanted to get some B-roll footage of their stuff. And we were like, oh, yeah, Chris told us to come by. And he was like, oh, have at it. It was just,
do whatever you want. We're like behind the displays and everything. I'm also I'm finally going to do the dangler series. So I'm going to start showing some different danglers. The HRT Sporin dangler, if you're looking for a medical setup and you like to use danglers, theirs is more on the tactical side. So it's going to get a little bit of thrash from me, but also gets a little bit of love of like, listen, if we were going to do a duty setup, every person on TLD would be running this. But when we're talking from a civilian perspective, you can't like turn it into a fanny pack and all the other cool stuff that some of the other ones can do. But from an access standpoint and organization, that Sporin is really good, if not top.
I'm just saying that this is all your fault. The chest rigs and the danglers and everything else is all your fault.
That's right. And in response to that, Wolf says, yo, Wizard Dance Magic.
Yes, finally. Like, I was about to say it.
Harry says, Walsh had some mean-spirited comments.
I commented on the person being mean to quarantine.
I like that pun.
Oh, of course you did.
Of course, I was like, "Well, who's this?"
There's Walsh.
Time to go be an a-hole.
There you go. Quarantine says, "When he retorts again, I'm already ready for my response. Come to my web," said the spider to the fly.
I got him with a good one.
Oh, Harry says, "Dodge Ford is king, Joe. Only if you like walking."
Yeah, right. Using them Chevrolets. Spot them mobile.
She says, Quarantine Goddess says, let's switch gears. Which bug out bag do y'all recommend for men and ladies?
Ooh, I'm gonna piss everybody off. I think bug out is stupid.
Yeah, you're dumb.
Where's actually a really good video. So here's I kind of agree. I'll say that I think it'd be good to prepare for that if you need to. But I know my community. I know my neighbors. I know which ones have guns. I know where I need to set up choke points if I needed to defend this neighborhood. And so I would much rather spend my time and energy getting more people to be, I don't know, responsible or in the prepper mindset. I'd rather spend my time and energy here than planning a bug out. Now, don't get me wrong. I have a bug out location planned, and I have all of the family have bug out bags.
You two and I have different definitions of what a bug out bag is for.
That's because we're bugging out to you if we're going somewhere.
Well, my bug out bag could be my range bag. It can be my, oh no, I need to go to the basement bag. It could be my, I just throw this when I'm going into sketchy neighborhoods into the trunk of my car bag. Like, it could be, oh, it's Black Friday and I'm actually leaving my house. This is a terrible idea. Let me throw that bag into the trunk of my car.
It happens to have a placard in there.
My bug out bag and just my everything with the kitchen sink bag.
So I think
it's like my 72-hour bag.
And Quarantine Catholic, she's correcting herself. She's like, okay, sorry. She's like, what is my get home bag? I get what she's saying. Like, some good bags, and I think there's some really good ones. I love the Kane bags. You can get some crazy good bags. They're a little more pricey now than you could before. I also like Hazard 4 a lot. They're kind of my range bag, and then like that the mountain one. What are those ones called?
I'm a Maxpedition fan, so I do a lot of Maxpedition.
What's the other one?
I'm with not Jason.
Super popular, and I'm having a brain fart. They issue
Mystery Ranch.
There we go. Yeah.
And,
Mystery Ranch. So I have
somebody he might throw a comment in if you watch it tonight, but old Daniel, he's the one that kept telling me about Maxpedition, and then I jumped onto the bandwagon with not Jason when they were doing the buy one get one free, so he paid 50% each, and we got one. That one, not Jason, the one that we got isn't my favorite. Like I wish I would have got one with the cool like pistol pocket in it and some other stuff, but the build quality of those bags are just, and to me, I don't think it can be beat.
Those are good. So, and I like the Agilite AMAP 3. It's just big enough. I could fold up. I could break down a rifle and put it in there. I use it for field. That's pretty much my field work bag. That's what I use. And it's awesome then that I could just throw it on the back of a plate carrier, either in a bag configuration or just a backpack configuration. And it's just big enough to be able to hold some stuff, but not like, oh, I'm good. I got my 40-pound ruck on, like,
yeah.
It all depends.
I'm the opposite. I want a big bag that can be the 40-pound ruck, but can collapse down to an overnight bag at the same time.
And I like that because I have a Mystery Ranch that has like the cage. Like, I have a normal one that has like the one that has like the cage and everything on the back, and like the whole harness system. And I'm like, this is so impractical for I don't use it for anything. I don't use it for anything.
Don't be a sissy, and you don't need that. I mean, if you're rucking all the time, multiple time a week, if you're rucking, then yes, you need all that. But if you're bugging out, right? You don't need all of that stuff.
No, I use it for rucking. Like, literally, that's it. Like, hey, we're gonna go do PT and ruck out. Like, okay, I'm bringing that pack because that's what it's for. But otherwise, it just sits on the closet with gear in it.
Yeah, I mean, I have some of them from the military. I have a framed bag.
Yeah,
and your typical military ones.
Yeah.
You just gotta figure out what you need in terms of bugging out or a get home bag. How far you're gonna have to go. What's that?
Jason, who's that guy you met? The really nice guy we met, Tactical Taylor. He makes some cool looking bags. They look a little pricey, but those look nice as hell.
The guy that we met right there by TNVC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tactical Taylor. They do make some. They are. I mean, they're custom. That you could pick pretty much whatever pattern. They're made here in the U.S. Tactical Taylor does make some really good stuff. But it's going to really depend on, let's say, where are you going to be spending most of your time? So if you're working at a school, how far away is home from school? So do you need to put maybe your work requires dress shoes and you're going to have to keep a pair of sneakers or a good pair of comfy boots in your bag, right? So you might need a bigger bag for that. You got to figure out what your needs are, and then I wouldn't buy a 60-liter bag if you're only going to need 20 liters. So what we preach all the time: mission dictates gear. Figure out what your mission is, and then buy a bag. I don't think you could go wrong with any of the major names that are out there. You can't go wrong as long as you buy a bag that fits.
I want that one. Agilite putting out. I don't know when.
So keep it to two brands. Walsh, you get two brands. Not two? Jason and I think are on the same page with Max.
I I would say Kenai because it's cheap and disposable, and Mystery Ranch.
So Mystery Ranch, Kenai, and Maxpedition. Start looking at those 3.
Yeah, and I like Kenai because if I just caught that bag on fire, you're like, whoops. Like I'm not.
I would probably cry if my Maxpedition.
If my Mystery Ranch caught on, like I'd lost it, I'd be like, you got to be kidding me. Like I'm not gonna be able to get another one of those.
Yeah.
So there's still people talking about how good Fords are in the comments.
Oh wow.
12 Bravo says 1988 Ford Festiva was the best car ever made, rolling on 12-inch wheels.
My buddy had a Geo Metro, and I'm going to argue that was the most fun car because he did not care. He would just like go to the grocery store and just run into all the shopping carts, and then
didn't you have a Ford Probe that you painted purple?
Yeah. Oh, it wasn't supposed to be purple. It was the first time we ever sprayed pearl, but it ended up purple. We were sprayed pearl paint before that.
Hey, I'm not hating on Fords. They're keeping mechanics in business since 1904 or whenever they came out.
Even 12 Bravo talked about it. He said, I had one. I drove the wheels off that damn thing like 30 miles per gallon. Yeah, driving the wheels off of that Ford. Not a surprise.
Weird. Yeah, not a surprise. I'm not surprised on that. Probably happened multiple times a year.
Kayla says, anyone ever try to see if the DM sub mag placard would fit the Ruger BX25 mag for 1022? I'll let you know, Caleb. I got one on order, so when I get it, I'll try it out.
And they're super good at responding too. Like if you want to know those things, you can message them. Like Jesse, who I deal with from Defense Mechanism, is probably one of the main reasons I like dealing with them so much. Super amazing guy, awesome to talk to. I can just text him, hey, does this work? He's like, yeah, and I'll just let somebody know. Usually I just talk to him via VFR Direct.
So Raw Cookie Dough says, a year since his check cleared on the 15th. Yep, probably got another month or so, buddy, for that suppressor.
Oh, that makes me sad that I'm probably waiting 10 more months. Like by the time I get my silencers, it'll be cold out again, and then we'll have to wait till summertime again. Like,
Dude, I just want to say if they go through the whole brace stock thing, and I have to SBR every gun in my house, like then the gloves are off. Like every AR in my house will be an SBR, and every gun will have a silencer on it. Like
at that point, forget it. Like whatever, we'll just go crazy.
You see the news headline, like person with, an armory in their basement, and they have like 4 guns and 1,000 rounds. Like it won't. I will look like Fort Knox for gold compared to
that. So Angry Star says, Caleb, you may need MPX style mag patches as they are about as wide as the Ruger mags. Yeah, I mean, just from experience looking at the MP5 mag compared to the Ruger BX25, that Ruger BX25 is going to be a little bigger. So not sure if they'll fit, but I should know here in a month or so. 12 Bravo says wintertime. Hell, it was 88 degrees here today.
What?
Where are you at?
Nice.
It's the coldest day ever today.
Hey, I'm not hating on the cold weather because I got to stay extra hours today because water line froze and bursted.
California Conservative says, order to Ellie, please secure minimalist. Should be here soon. Thanks. The trustworthy sign sealed the deal for me. I got my notice.
Yeah. So get closer to the camera so they can. Let me see if I can get you. Let me know how I do just solo you. Hold on. Yeah.
There we go.
You go. That's awesome. Oh, that's good.
Glad I can help.
We had a super chat. I don't know if you saw it. We have a super chat donation.
I have not.
A little bit lower.
I'm way behind though.
You want to be behind? I'm gonna jump to it so we don't miss it.
Hey,
I don't know. We're so far behind. I don't even know what it's about.
Thank you.
Your 4 months and raise you $2.
Well, we'll make Joe drink to that anyway then.
Yeah. Heck yeah. I'm down.
Thanks for the super chat. We appreciate it. You guys are always
just so for everybody playing along. Wizard them knees.
Mark Hedges said, I have 509 that did that. I had to discharge it to get it apart. Luckily, I knew that round didn't clear. Sent it in.
Oh.
Yeah, interesting. So the H&K 509.
The HK or
the FN? FN.
The FN. And the FN was one I was going to get, and Joe was like, well, don't look at these like torture tests. Like as soon as it gets too much dust, it's like, no, too much dust, jam.
Yeah.
In the world.
So my favorite libertarian says, word on the street is Defense Mechanisms is coming out with an upgraded quick connect disconnect for their cummerbunds. Any inside scoop on that? Walsh is going to text Jesse and say, hey, man.
What? Why do I not know about this?
Yeah. What's this?
I know that, I mean, they sell cummerbunds that have the QDs on it, like the Agilite QDs. I don't know who makes those. I just mean like the QDs that are on the Agilite.
Hey, Jesse, had a viewer asking me about an upgraded quick disconnect for your cummerbunds. Any information you can give me on that? Would love to share. What am I writing?
You should just mute yourself so you don't sound like a dum-dum.
I'll mute it. I'm gonna send it right now.
Richard Harris says, I get my Agilite pincer placard tomorrow. My wife is starting to hate Walsh.
Yep.
Yes, join the club. Yay. You know, so hey, Richard, if you don't mind, you can send us an email, thinlinedefenseco@gmail.com. A lot of viewers are, if you have one, I don't know if you have an AK mag, but a lot of viewers are asking if AK mags fit in those pincer placards. I don't know if Walsh has one because he hasn't responded to any of those questions. So I'm guessing he doesn't have any AK mags.
I don't. And that's kind of why I had an answer. I was kind of hoping somebody else was going to chime in and say whether or not they did, because I don't know. I don't have AK mags.
Yeah. So if you have some, Richard, let us know. There's a lot of viewers that are asking about that.
You're gonna have like 12 or 15 comments to come. People are like, Walsh is just ignoring this. Like, no, I just literally don't know the answer.
Yep. Rock Cookie Dough says you got a Maximus on his SPC.
Mm-hmm.
Ironside Army says my wife has started a support group.
You better not have a new video of something new you need to buy. Like, yeah, we're gonna get into some. We got some high end stuff. I'm gonna show you guys later. Y'all gonna be mad. It's some really cool stuff too. Like the whole game is to get Joe a helmet one day because that's the best.
We were talking at SHOT Show about. I told Walsh I really want to get a Tavor, and Walsh brought it up with the Agilite guys, and they were like, "Yeah, we know the owner. We could probably get you a deal." And Walsh told him, he's like, "If you can like cement that in by the time we leave, Jason will buy a Tavor." And I was like, because
he told me, he goes, Walsh, if I can get a discount, I'm just going to buy it right now. So I just go straight to the Agilite guys, and I'm like, hey, if you can give me a discount, I'll buy it right now. He's like, okay, let's do it.
It didn't work. We weren't able to get a hold of the guy.
Yeah.
But they were like, yeah, we know the owner.
Yeah, that's funny. We're going to make it happen. Right. Spend all Jason's money.
Yeah, I know. Zach says,
bug out that I'm really looking.
And I want to share, and so we didn't really touch on this, and I want to share why I think bug out's a bad plan, unless I'm going to bug out to like Joe's location or all of our team is going to bug out to one centralized location together. But and actually I'm going to steal this from Dr. Dole. He's the one who kind of explained this to me. When a ship's going down, like if suddenly it's taking on water, you don't just immediately jump overboard, right?
No.
The first thing you're going
to that completely depends on where you live and what's going on.
True. Yeah, like some of the stuff going on right now, if I was in Ukraine, we got to bug out. We got to go. We're not going to hang out for that. We're not going to try and survive.
Like I live in, I don't even know how big Colorado Springs getting 700,000 people. Like if it's bad enough, I'm going out to the flats. I'm taking a field. Like I have a 4-wheel drive truck and I'm just driving until my truck runs out of gas. Like so far off the road. And then I'm probably going to steal heavy equipment and build a fortification.
And so Joe has different skill sets, but here's the idea that Dr. Dole was saying. Like the first thing you're going to do is you want to go and see what life rafts. Like, hey, are there any boats? Are there any lifeboats? And that's going to be your community. You know, like how's your community doing? Can your community band together? And the next thing you're going to see, like, okay, are there any individual rafts? Like what are we looking at in terms of individual rafts for people? And that's your neighborhood. And then the last thing you're going to look at is your life vest, which is going to be your home. You know, it's going to be all those pieces needs to collapse down before you're just going to leave. Like there's a reason why you found your abode to be a good functional position. Like carrying around all the rounds I need to all the different various positions, like it would work. Like if I'm going to one location, if Joe's like, hey, we are convening at A, B, C, D coordinates, bring your crap. Like, okay, I got to load everything up.
Yeah. So this is, to me, it's like how long is this going to last?
Yeah,
if it's a week, a month, even probably a year, I'm probably sticking where I'm at. Anything more than that, like no joke zombies, I'm not staying here.
Well, and if it's super short, like if it's like, hey, we need to bug out for a day for 24 hours. Like, let's disappear for 24 hours. Like, hey, we need to just not be found for 24 hours. Easy. That's easy to do. But when it starts to be like survival levels, that's like, okay, we want to come back to, we always want, if we get away from our home, we always want to find a way to work our way back to where all of our supplies is. I know Jason's got food. Most of his food and supplies are there. I mean, maybe has some hidden, I don't know. He probably has some hidden in some secret bunker 20 miles from the house or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I got like a 600-acre farm close by. So just head out there. But no, I think you guys are right. I mean, here's something that I was talking to my kids about this recently. And we're kind of getting into politics a little bit too, but the kids were kind of angry about some of the stuff that's going on just here in the state about mask mandates at school and things like that. Oh, we lost Joe.
Oh no. Oh, he's back.
There. Okay. About mask mandates in school and things like that. And I remember asking them a question. I said, how much what do you think I can do to affect change in Washington, D.C.? I'm talking on a federal level. Very little. And I'm not discounting a person's right to vote or anything like that, but I have very little sway over a national election. How much sway do I have over my state election? I have a little bit more sway. And then what about my city councilman or my county folks, right? I have a lot more influence on what's happening there. And so this idea, if we can strengthen our communities and build a good foundation, then that could make our cities better, or our counties better, or our state better. And I think that's the way that we need to look at affecting true change, by doing it from the ground up, instead of thinking that all of our problems are going to be solved in DC. And so there's this great, I got to find the guy's name, but this one guy, he was super overweight. And one of the things that he decided to do was he was going to throw on like an old school Ellis pack filled with rocks and just walk his neighborhood to lose weight. And so people started coming up and asking about him. And he's like, I just want to be in better shape in case something were to happen and I need to move myself physically and I can't use my vehicle. I need to be in good shape to do that. So by doing that in his neighborhood, it got people to ask questions. There's another lady that was like, she would make a 72-hour kit in a 5-gallon bucket and drop it off at neighbors' houses. So but working in your neighborhood, I think is going to affect a better change for you and your family than trying to think of something that could happen in DC.
Yeah. And it goes with the whole idea
we
too.
Also, I use Katrina a lot, because if you don't know what happened during Hurricane Katrina, start researching that. I use that a lot, because anything that happens, nationally, is going to happen similar to Katrina. And there was not Jason is saying, there was that neighborhood that said, no, you're not going to take our guns, you're not going to confiscate our gun, and we're going to protect our community. And they even put signs outside, right? Like, yep, don't come into that community. And lo and behold, that community, they didn't get looted and they didn't get their gun confiscated. So they protect themselves from both sides, from looters and from the government.
History repeats itself. You look at the LA riots in the 90s with Rodney King. What was the one area that wasn't destroyed? I mean, I'm sure people have seen the pictures of the rooftop Koreans, right? You have Koreatown. They got their guns. They got onto the rooftops of their businesses, and they were willing to defend, to the death, their businesses. That was their livelihood. Yep. That was the one area that wasn't destroyed. So if you can get a strong community, you can affect a lot of change.
And particularly if your team is useful. We talk about something says in the military a lot is, if you want to go fast, you go alone. If you want to go long, you go together, right? That's kind of the whole idea behind it. And like, what's interesting is that the four of us are far away from each other, but we could do, like, if there's something that really went down, the four of us wouldn't really be all that concerned, because we'd have a 4-man team who can move, communicate, and execute, right? So like, that's the kind of the mindset I would think more of Bug Out is like, who is your 4-man team? Who is your 8-man team? Who's your 12-man team? Because that's far more effective. Like we're talking about the rooftop Koreans, you got 12 guys. Like, you're probably going to come back and bug those guys later. Today's probably not the day for that.
Right. I want to be the person that you have to stop, think, and formulate a plan in order to.
Yeah, we're going to draw a map.
Right. It's not just a walking through and keep walking and, oh, now we got some cool new supplies.
Like, did you did one of them have nods? Like, I think two of them had nods.
Yeah.
Like,
there's
was one of them dressed like a caveman running around crazy?
Yeah.
Yep.
There's a book out there, a fictional book called Patriots by, I think the guy's last name is Rawls. A fictional book, but it's like a socioeconomic collapse in the U.S. and kind of what happens is this group of people that they train together by going hiking. One of the guys was a prior Marine, so he would take all the group out and teach them how to shoot. And so passing on skills to your team can really help. I mean, if you can have someone in your neighborhood that is maybe a nurse or a doctor, like that's a great person to have on the team.
Even like simple stuff like how to can food.
Yeah, and sharing that. So a friend of mine, he does a lot of.
Not Jason on our team because he knows how to make tamales.
The only
perfect example.
That's the only reason.
That's what got him on the team. I mean, who knew he had all the other skills? But
all those other ones are great, but there's really only one we care about.
Right?
Yeah, tamales.
And it really comes down to like also be useful, like cardio. Cardio is a huge part of survival. The person who runs the slowest is probably going to lose.
Yeah, everybody's heard the joke, right? Like when we all get attacked by a bear, I don't have to be the faster person. I just have to be faster than the slowest.
Yeah.
Or a firearm to shoot the fastest person in the leg. But that's what it is.
Yeah.
That's
cardio
what it is.
Is the first tactical advantage. Like it's number one.
But we don't even have to preach that, Walsh, because everybody's doing the March 3-minute mountain climber challenge with us.
So Zachary was talking to me. He's like, wait. Is it 3 minutes straight or is there a break? Like, it's 3 minutes straight.
3 minutes straight. My goal is just to find a song that's about 3 minutes. If it's a little bit longer, then I'll do it for the full song. And then just to play that song every day and do mountain climber to that
and I'll
song.
do like a YouTube. I'll do like a short. Well, I'll do probably like a stories or something. I'll show that we're doing ours too. Yeah, I'll do it every day. It's easy.
And then Walsh, if y'all get involved, Walsh might do like a shirtless before and after. He doesn't know this yet. This is another surprise.
Fantastic. I'm super excited about this. Everyone now is like, could we not do this challenge now?
Yeah, can we not? Can I get mine not to do this?
We're about 80 minutes behind, but 12 Bravo left like an hour ago.
Oh.
Not an hour, like 15 minutes. I skipped a lot of comments. So if you guys haven't seen your comments, it's because they just didn't matter. There was honestly a really good conversation about. I thought it was really funny. They were going back and forth about Quarantine Catholic was asking about bags. Someone brought up Vertex, which I forgot about Vertex. Those are some good bags as well. And they said you could be gray man, and she said, well, a gray woman, and then it was gray person, gray preferred pronoun. It was good. Appreciate it.
That's pretty good.
All right. Now I'm trying to figure out. Okay. Anyone in a big city like New York City, bug out is their only real option if things get really bad. Every time I think about the game that we played together, which was Division, which was it was like a disaster that happened in New York City, and I mean, I think that's very realistic of what would happen if a disaster were to strike something like New York City. Even something that's not as destructive as like a bomb or something like that, but an EMP attack, I bet you half the city would die within 24 hours. That'd be my guess.
And so it's interesting we talk in terms of like survival, evasion, like the whole survival stuff and evasion, particularly in a city. Like I think we talk about a lot of survival and evasion in like an out and open field or you're out in the woods. Urban evasion and survival is its own thing, and I think it's not something you're not going to find a lot of information on, but probably way more valuable than how are you going to hide in the woods? Like, are you going to hide behind a tree? That's pretty easy. How are you going to hide and stay warm and evade in a city? Like that's
there's this cool book called Anne Frank. You should probably start there because she was like the master at it.
She was like king of hide and go seek.
Yeah.
Harry says my community sucks. Unfortunately, in Miami, And I think that's true. I mean, there's people that feel like I live in California, in some terrible city in California, and I can't affect change. I think you're wrong. I think you'd be surprised how many people are going to be. You can convince people to think like you do. A great way I think you can go about it on the Second Amendment side. If you were to talk to a liberal friend and you would say, "Hey, what's the likelihood that you think in your lifetime you're going to see World War III?" Well, with everything that's happening right now, people would be like, "Oh man, probably very high." And then the follow-up question to that is, okay, if you were to live during World War III and it was happening here in the U.S., would you prefer to have a gun or not have a gun? Right? I mean, that's a pretty good question that'll get them. Well, I guess it would. Well, then why don't you stop being afraid of the thing and at least go train? I'm not saying for you to support all the same candidates that I support, but at least get smart on it, so you don't.
And I would say, look out. Sorry, not Jason.
That are making laws.
I would say also look outside of the box that you're looking in right now, right? So not Jason said your community. That doesn't necessarily mean your neighborhood. That means your community. So I'm sure there's different Facebook groups with social media nowadays. I'm sure there are a bunch of different groups that you can become part of, or even like, it sounds weird, but start going to church. Start going to church. Church people are the best community to have around you, and you'll be surprised at the types of people that go to church. It's not just, people that don't like violence or don't want violence or would never be violent. Start going to church. Start getting into different social media groups. Start looking outside just your block radius. With community, 5 minutes away better than nothing, right? So start looking in your community as a whole, like everybody around you.
I'll charge this too. People who say that, my community's no good, that's your fault. I'll give you a little bit of that onus. Like, you should own a little bit of that, because you should be the start of your community. Like, maybe I don't know, maybe I'm not as involved in my community, but like my street on my neighborhood, if things go sideways, I could go to every single one of them. I know them close enough. I could hand them something, be like, here you go. This is for you to protect yours and mine.
Yeah, and find that person that lives in an apartment complex, right? They're not going to stay there. So be the bigger person and offer them, like, okay, well, if something goes bad, you can come to my house. I have the house. I have the property that's easier to defend. How about you, buy 1,000 rounds and store it in my house. So when you do bug out here, I'm not giving you my rounds or food or water storage or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Good talks on bug out today. Good talks on bug out.
Well, I was going to say, we're an hour into this and we haven't touched on the videos that Walsh did, which is great.
That's good.
Yeah. I mean, I love that we're able to talk about stuff like this.
So I'll talk on the Sling real quick. We're doing some more Sling series. I think it's good to see. There's so many slings out there that I'm not even able to navigate them. There's a lot of snake oil in slings. Some of them are kind of ridiculously priced and they're just like meh. Or like Joe, he found some. They're like, hey, I have this gem and it wasn't that expensive. And here's all the expensive ones I didn't like. So hopefully we can show a bunch more of those. I like the GBRS Sling. I think you're paying a lot for a very small tag. I think there's some other slings that are half the cost that are as good or almost as good. It's probably one of my favorite slings. I don't think they probably like my video because I had the audacity to say something negative about them, which I think is funny. But I do like them. I think they do cool stuff. I wear some of their gear. I wear some of their shirts. I thought it was a pretty good belt. A pretty good sling. So
yeah.
And I'm not a fan of that pad. Like, I don't think I would like that sling at all. I'm not a fan of the pad.
You definitely like the defense mechanisms one then, because it's almost exactly the same, half the cost minus the pad.
Yeah. I would
and
probably
it can stow. It stows with a super cool stowage method. I'll show you. It is. You're gonna buy one. Like, after I show it to you, you're gonna be like, whoa, what's our code again?
But one of the things I thought I really enjoyed that you said, it was kind of a joke or a way to poke fun, but I think it's true. You said something like, hey, if I were to go ride a roller coaster 100 times, is that going to make me a good roller coaster designer? or a roller coaster engineer. Like, no. And just because you're a tier 1 operator doesn't mean that you're able to design good gear. I think that there's companies out there that do some really good stuff better than these tier 1 groups, cheaper. They're more custom. I don't know, man. I just think there's better options that are out there.
And it's kind of it's a no frills belt for a frills price. Like
belt or sling? What are we talking about?
Sling. Sorry. I had the belt and the thing. I looked online though. That sling costs $300 on eBay.
What?
So
it's like $80 on their website.
Ridiculous that community is. I was like, I'm about to just go sell this thing right now.
Yeah.
Like on eBay, like you can't get them, so they're like $1 billion. So if you guys want a GBRS sling and want to make a bunch of money, they're about to release another one. You got to spend like $75 on a sling, just to sell it. But I think it's a little bit wonkadoo, but whatever. How many of you totally loved my Bane impression? That was pretty good.
I thought, and I still think that you just took the audio from the movie and spliced it over you.
Do you think?
I think you did good, but after like 5 seconds, over it.
You're like, I get the joke. Why are you doing the whole thing? And I normally only do like one spiel. Like, so Jason, I actually practiced it I used to do it like a long time ago when it first came out. I could do the voice pretty good. I have to like prep for it though. But I normally only do one small bit, and I was like, I guess like doing just 5 seconds of it, that's kind of silly. So I did more than normal.
Yeah. Yeah. You did the whole spiel.
That is 100% me though. Like you could see my face, you could see me moving and talking, and
it's like you had the acting script in front of you, and you just started from page 1. You're like, all right, let's see Bane's lines. Right? Let's start here.
That's kind of what I did. Because normally I do like a middle piece, and I'm like, what does he say before this? And what does he say after? Like, I don't know. I only ever do this like one middle bit here.
I used to be good at Arnold.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Arnold.
Yeah.
But I want to say though, I'm going to show it more, and Jason's going to see me talk about it. But I am a big fan of this, of the Ops Core, the SOTR mask, just from having a respirator, particulates, hazards, gas, any of that stuff. The reason I like that so much is like you don't need a helmet setup to run it. It comes with just like a regular old civilian setup. Yeah, your eyes are still going to be there'll still be a problem. So you're probably still going to have some hazards. But even in just a simple, like, God forbid, if you've ever been to an indoor range where the vent isn't working, you can shoot about 3 rounds and you're done. Like the whole place is just.
Can you imagine wearing that when you're at the range shooting?
You get kicked out.
You probably get kicked out pretty fast.
I see it more in an urban setting, like in a 9/11 type setting where
look at all the concrete,
super dusty, and the concrete that you're breathing in. Think of all those people that have medical issues afterwards.
Or like, hey, we got to go into a building and there's just crud everywhere. There's there's lead, there's dust and stuff everywhere. Like, okay, we got to mask up because now we have a secondary hazard.
Dude, I dare you to start wearing that everywhere that requires a COVID mask. I dare you.
It's actually an N99. I mean, technically it's an N99 mask.
I mean, the whole helmet and everything. Like, just have it in your vehicle. And when they're like, hey, you need a mask.
It's what?
You need a mask to come in here. Be like, oh, okay, and then just come back with that.
On. It's Hold on, it's Darth Vader loud.
It doesn't have a mic in it, does it?
They have a what? Mic,
microphone. It does.
It does. It has a mic. It doesn't hook into these headsets. I got the Ops Core amps coming.
Huh. Interesting.
So yeah, but
I think you're asking the wrong question.
Says if you're in a city, check out the YouTube channel Urban Prepper. I love his channel, by the way, Caleb. I think that's a good YouTube channel.
I can barely breathe in this thing.
I can barely hear you.
Hold on, I'm not talking very loud.
You sound like Bane.
Right? It wasn't him all along. It was the mask.
Oh, you think the darkness is your ally?
No, oh my gosh. You got him started.
Yeah, no,
let me mute him.
I turned it on. Yeah. Can I mute? Can I just leave?
Yeah, he's muted. Yes.
Yes, good job, not Jason.
Yes. Winning.
Oh.
I can see this thing.
I legit can't hear you, but my hearing's terrible anyways.
I thought you wanted to see this thing.
No, I want you to wear it into any store that requires a mask.
I will. You're never going to, talking is extremely annoying.
Yeah, why do you need to talk to anybody? Just put that on and walk in the store.
I was going to wear it.
Wear it with like everything else. You have to have everything else.
You're going to get the police calling you so much. So Harry says online groups seem like they would definitely be on a government watch list. Yeah, I wouldn't surprise me, and that's tinfoil hat that I'm putting on. Would not surprise me one bit.
Listen, Facebook gets paid to sell your information. If you don't think they're selling your information, how do you think they're making money?
But that doesn't. What I'm saying, I agree with you. I'm not trying to defend my point at all. But what I'm saying is that's where you meet people, and
then connect it from there.
Then you connect from there. And I'm not saying like crazy, let's overthrow things type of people. I'm just saying like not Jason and just like-minded people to you. We got
a super chat. Joe. Zach says, someone who's suddenly tuning in is very confused. #mask gang. Thanks for the super chat, Zach.
They're going to be like,
always
what?
Love it, man.
They got two, like, if you, I guess I didn't think about that. You got two dudes in a mask, and then this guy, and they're like, what? And then they're like,
what did I
mute that guy? Like,
you'll have to rewind. We can't even explain it.
People that are even liberal or anti-gun would become willing to point and shoot if their life was in danger, or they will cower, in which case they are a cull. So I had a friend who, it was kind of this weird marriage. Not weird. I mean, they loved each other, but husband was a gun guy, wife was not. And I remember talking to her about it. Said, if you had to use a gun to defend your life, could you do it? She was like, absolutely not. And I said, what about using a gun to defend your kid's life?
Yeah.
She was like, yeah, I could probably do that. Like you find the right motivation, they'll do it.
You have to. I mean, this instinct kicks in.
For my kids, like I would look like an 80s action movie, bro. Like I would have bandoliers, the whole 9 yards. Dude, I'd just be throwing grenades. Like, you get a grenade and you get a grenade.
Okay, Oprah. 7.5
like that
says, hey everyone. Welcome, buddy.
What up, 7.5?
Ironsight says you're late.
You're late.
Have you tried the snake oil sling?
Which one's the snake?
I don't know.
If he's talking about the Warrior Poet one, I have tried that one, and I am not a fan.
Is that the magnet one?
Yes. That's
Well, she's going to do a review of the one you did the video on from SHOT Show, the sling. I think that's Arbor Arms. You have one, don't you?
Yeah, I'm going to do that. I have one. So, and for full disclosure, slings are a complicated beast, and you really need to have more firearms knowledge than I have. And I was really worried about pissing off John at Arbor Arms and not doing a solid to him with that sling. Now that I've seen it and I understand it, and he showed us, I get it. And Jason can correct me too, because he was there. But now we see how good it is. And I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. I see why it's so good. And now
it's kind of not, because a lot of people are on your same skill level, right? So, I mean, I keep going back to cars, right? Not everybody can buy a McLaren P1 and drive it to its full potential. So, does everybody need a McLaren P1?
Yes.
I just think
I agree. If somebody wants to give me theirs, I'll take it. But
like for the features of the Arbor Arm sling, you get way, like if you don't use it, that's fine, but it's there if you want to. Like there's so much more that's to it that he just thought through everything instead of like, hey, here's a sling and we put some grommets on it. Like, oh,
well, here's a
loop.
Says, don't laugh at my Condor adjustable sling of $12. It's held up like a boss. You know,
yeah,
I've heard
I love Condor stuff.
And I
have multiple of their hats. I buy if I see something and Condor makes it and I'm looking for that, I'll buy a Condor brand.
Listen, Condor catches a lot of grief, but I've never seen a destroyed Condor pouch.
Yeah.
I have one. Yeah, I bought one of their rifle bags and I still have it, but a zipper broke on it. I went to go like molly the pouch. They have this like external pouch that came with it. I went to go molly in and I molled it in and I grabbed it to tighten it and the whole like webbing just undid from the pouch, just like slid out. It was like, what the hell? I will say they were super
it's
cool
Condor, so you just grab a roll of duct tape and you fix it.
Well, I took some pictures and sent it because I just bought it. and they were super cool. They sent me a new one, so their customer service is on point.
I think I even have like a little pouch that looks like a grenade from Condor. It's like a little zipper pouch that looks like a grenade.
Grenades.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you got any, I'll take them.
He's like the only one of us I trust with them.
That's kind of scary.
One time I threw a grenade with the dummy tape still attached to it. So I don't know if you'll trust me after that. You know the demotivational poster that were big back in the day? Like I was making them for everybody in the office, you know? Like somebody standing with both of their feet pointed in and the R word, and we all know one like underneath it. Well, somebody had caught the picture of me throwing that grenade with the safety tape still around the spoon. And EOD had to. I wanted to go get my own grenade. I messed it up, but EOD went and got it. But somebody caught a picture on it, so that became my demotivational picture.
That's funny.
Oh, there you go. Ironside says green screen yourself into somewhere from that movie, the Batman movie.
Oh, I'll do it.
Don't encourage him.
I'll do it because I have to do another.
No joke, you'll do it. You're wearing a chest rig right now. Like we all know that you'll do it.
Ironside says, I want a green screen of Walsh's backyard.
It's easy.
Yeah, he already has it. He's used it multiple times in videos. Whenever it's too cold outside.
Am I still cool if I go Team Wendy? So, actually, I need to post this deal. I posted it a while back, but there was a sale on an Ops Core high cut ballistic helmet for like $600.
I think it was.
Yeah, it's a little heavier. It's like 3 pounds. Not terrible, but 3 pounds for an Ops Core. It's like a $1,400 helmet they had on sale for $600. I'll post the link in the Discord a little later.
But so Team Wendy's still cool, and kind of why I want to show you some of the helmet stuff is it gets super intricate. Like when you get to the Exfil 3.0 on the Team Wendy versus the Arc or whatever the heck it is on the Ops Core, like it's very different in how everything connects up, and you have to have different stuff for different pieces. So I'll try to show you all that. But I have a Team Wendy carbon, so I'll show you that too. The difference between the carbons and the ballistics.
Ironside says my friend's name is Wendy, so the helmet has to be good.
What's weird
Who has a smoke alarm that the battery's dying? Whose house is that?
I don't know. Not mine. It might be.
I've heard it
chirp
doing
like dishes.
times.
So Isabel, my daughter's like clinking silverware together.
Maybe
it's your house, Joe.
No, it's not. Nope. I ripped those suckers down immediately.
There you go. Jokic says, great place to meet some Fed boys. I think he's talking about the online groups.
Oh, Facebook, probably.
Yeah,
Facebook.
Look,
so
he's
Jokic,
got a great name.
I've never seen his name on here before. So if you're joining us, welcome.
Yeah,
good to have you.
Him and Hero get along.
Matt B says they'll go with it. Here you go, Gen Z. Welcome, Gen Z. I haven't seen you comment today. I know you've been on our live chat before. I haven't seen you comment today, so welcome. It's funny. I bet no one over in Ukraine is anti-gun at this point with everything going on. Yeah, I don't know if you saw. So the government actually passed a law basically saying, hey, any able-bodied person that wants a gun to defend themselves, like the government is now giving guns out to the population.
I guess they gave out 10,000 today.
Yeah.
10,000 AKs today.
Yep. I mean,
too bad it takes that for the government to be like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hey, we're only willing to weaponize you if you're willing to
defend your country.
Defend your country with your life. Like at that point, we'll let you defend our country. But I mean, at least maybe it's kind of a wake up call right now to people who are like, let's get rid of our guns, and they're looking over there and going, wait.
Yeah, well, I wish our government preempted that. Like, hey, I don't know, maybe 100 years from now, we might have somebody on our border trying to get in. So let's give everybody a gun now. That'd be pretty.
Jason, I'm going to steal this question. So awesome. Gen Z Prepper says, and I would like to see this too. It says, I also wish Walsh or Joe would do an urban kit setup and what y'all use. And this is going to be tough because let's say me and Joe were like, hey, we're in an urban kit and hey, we're going to kit up. First thing I would say to Joe, I would go, well, what are we doing? And Joe says, like, we're going to go in as fast as we can. We're going to get as much stuff as we can. And then we're going to leave. Like, okay, cool. I know exactly how I'm going to rig
I would peek around Walsh and be like, what was that? As I'm stuffing my fruit roll-ups in his backpack.
But then it comes down to like, okay, hey, urban kit setup. Okay, are we going to go and establish a position and we need to hold that position for 72 hours? That's a completely different setup than like, hey, we need to move in quickly and move out quickly.
Yeah.
So
I know. First two things that come to my mind. Yeah, actually, I think an urban kit setup will be the first time that you see me with a heavier kit on, because the first two things that come to my mind are a big pry bar and bolt cutters. Like those are an absolute.
And we would probably have some basic urban demo, like we're talking like demo, like
you have a breacher on your team. You have to have a breacher
charges, but like we're going to be able to open doors and have lockpick kits and have all those smaller things so we can move in and out of urban environments quickly. But like my urban, like if I'm doing an urban kit, that's when I have like those bolt cutters and even small chain.
And like my gloves would be different because of all the glass. Like I wouldn't be too worried about breaching a door. I'd be going through windows, but I would have actual true leather work gloves on me. Yeah. You know what I mean? I would look like a juggernaut.
Joe, maybe we should take this idea and run with it one day, put this together. Like what our urban kit would do and what we would do purpose wise. Because it's very different if you start talking about urban tactics.
Yeah, like you'd see me with a lot more flashlights. You'd see me with a lot more batteries. I'd probably need a wagon. You just see me running down the street dragging a wagon.
That attack pack, the attack pack belt setup that has that little thing that so the weight from your backpack goes right to your hips. You know what I'm talking about? A little pocket. Yeah. You would need something like that with a big old bag on your back.
Oh, I was thinking you could hook a wagon to it.
Oh yeah, you can do that too.
Yes. I like all of this.
Like how awesome would it be? Like I see Joe and he's like trekking and he like cuts a corner and he's going and like just this wagon.
Like a red wagon.
Yeah. A red rider wagon with off-road tires on it.
Like batteries and screws are all thrown off.
Don't worry, guys. They're airless tires. This is fine.
Go back for those later.
He would be on his e-skateboard.
There you go.
Yeah, but I would want pry bar to get into sewers. I would want pry bar to get into locked places. I mean, I would definitely probably be looking subterranean. That's why I would want as many flashlights and batteries as I could.
Anybody who's done any sort of lock picking, you start to realize that the locks are really there to keep the honest people out. If you really want to get in, it takes 2 seconds. And like Joe said, or you just break the glass and you put your hand inside and open the lock.
Yeah.
Like most of the time, it takes somewhere between 3 to 5 seconds to get in.
Like a house with a dead bolted front door and stuff, I'm just going to go around back and throw a brick through the sliding glass door.
I'll just go through the drywall. It's this thick.
Yeah.
So we're coming up on like an hour and 15. So we're going to have to stick to just member chats from now on until we wrap this up. Zach says, I've said that someone decided to overcomplicate what is supposed to be the most simple part of a kit.
Well, I don't know. It's so out of context.
Any of you ever try the VTAC sling?
I haven't. And this is kind
Joe has one.
It's kind of why we want to get into so many slings, because there's so many out there that so many people say are good. I've heard super good things about the VTAC. I'm sure we'll have that on the list that we'll check out. The good thing about slings is they're not wildly expensive, so we should be able to see a good bit of them and then give away the ones we don't like.
I only have like 4 and then my wolf hook.
Yeah.
I have a ton of McLeans. I just have mostly McLeans.
I have one. I like that sling. It's a good sling. I'm not bashing them whatsoever. I just don't want a sling that the entire strap rides the whole side of my gun.
As a lefty, it becomes a problem also.
Yeah. Your ejection port's there.
Yeah, it's on ejection port side. So I have to run it a little bit looser so it'll drop down. Yeah. So it has its own pros and cons.
Yeah. My favorite thing ever, wolf hook, it sucks when you have to do stuff with both your hands.
Yeah.
And that's why I want to see that Javelin Concepts one, because it actually hooks into the plate carrier. It's only a single point, and
that's the wolf hook. Yeah, same thing with the wolf hook.
Yeah, so it's kind of the same.
You just kind of strap it. I would probably strap it to right here or somewhere around.
I had mine set up where I had it 550 cord to the molly in the back, and 550 cord came up, and then the wolf hook connected to the 550 cord.
Yeah, I had a carabiner.
Yeah, it has like that whole the Javelin Concept one has that molly all the way up, so you can connect it in wherever you want. I'm supposed to be seeing it soon, so that'll be awesome.
Harry
You'll
says,
like it until you drop it to transition. Yeah. Then you won't like it anymore.
You really got to throw it. Like, kind of toss it to the side if you're going to transition.
No.
So Harry says, I agree with whoever said it. If I get a helmet, I will be forced into nods.
That's how it all started.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then Joe's like, oh, he Walsh should get nods eventually. I'm like, no. Here we are, waiting for him to come in.
But they make that cool helmet mount.
So there's some. I was kind of doing a little rant on Reddit about how everything on the helmet is proprietary and expensive. Just add a 0 on. Oh, you want a Picatinny mount? Oh, that's $80. Like that's $8. Yeah, it's $80. It's $80 for a Picatinny mount. Like, okay, what about this thing? Oh, that's a $300 flashlight mount for your $400 flashlight to put it on your helmet. Like, no. How about this? No.
Yep.
Helmets are weird.
Archangel says, I'm watching interviews with Ukrainians talking about being given rifles with little experience and they are ready to fight and die. I'm sorry, Ukraine, if they pull this off, admit them in, Nat?
NATO? Probably means NATO.
NATO?
Yeah.
Arc, why? After that government took all the guns a while back. Yeah, it's true.
I had a bunch of them ready to give out. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, they did. This is, okay, again,
Did they really? I didn't know that.
Politics, but
I don't know. I don't know their history.
I don't trust, whenever a government talks about doing gun buybacks or something like that, like, again, the Second Amendment isn't meant for hunting. It's meant for something exactly like what we're seeing in Ukraine.
Yeah. It sure is.
Imagine every member in your neighborhood. Like,
if they do a gun buyback, I might actually sell a couple of them so I could go buy other ones. Like, I don't need that whole 30-06 anymore.
2x4s and a pipe.
Yeah.
Like, I'll just sell old unreliable and get more reliable stuff. You'd be like, hey, where's this painted gun? I'm like, oh, that got sold in a buyback.
Yeah, that's spray paint.
Oh, I like this though. Ironside said I did an urban stealth camping trip for almost two years. AKA was almost. I thought he was saying he actually did an actual trip. Like, no. And okay, we talk about skill sets though, and that's actually far more useful.
Dude,
yeah, he probably had
you will have so much knowledge. Like, whoever lives in your community needs to start picking your brain.
And I hate to say
no
this,
joke.
Let's say an opposing force rolled in and they rolled in on Seattle, right? Those homeless folks, if you learn to weaponize them, good Lord, you're going to have quite the guerrilla warfare going on because they're going to be in and around and they're crazy.
Just promise them a bunch of heroin afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah. Imagine
I wasn't going to go there.
Shooting at you. Like, heck no, I'm going to give that guy a gun.
Urban Kid
a rifle behind every blade of grass, right?
Jacob says he made it. Thanks, Jacob. You got here just in time for us to close out.
Yeah, we'll do an urban kit. Me and Joe, maybe we can talk about what we put in an urban kit, and we'll do a video on it.
Urban outdoorsman.
Urban outdoorsman.
I have to buy a lot of stuff. Like, I don't have.
Zach says I've heard that the Ukrainians are holding their own. They're taking lots of prisoners. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
Ukraine.
Urban
you would also need to paint your mask a grayish color, Joe.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah, to be the true.
Unless it's winter time and there's snow outside, like in my city right now.
Oh, if you gave yourself your own like Arctic camo on that, I would be super happy.
Cool. Ironside says
you buy the spray paint
is the small 4-way wrench that turns on and off hose faucets. So, for those that don't know what he's talking about, hose faucets that you see on like government buildings, they have this special little hex key, and there's different sizes you get, but you can buy these little wrenches on Amazon for like $7. I have one in all my cars. They're good to have.
Yeah, perfect idea.
Okay, I'll play the dumb viewer. Why would you want to be able to turn on and off the faucets to different buildings?
Source of water.
Yeah, so if you need
clean water
to drink,
just like usually you want, like if the water's shut off, you could go over there and turn it back on. That's what you're kind of saying.
Yeah.
Well, it's not at your house. It's for like my church building or the city hall, the hose,
the abandoned whatever building. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, you get water there. Zach says Sling is supposed to be simple.
I agree.
I think so. Zach, you're talking about the one from SHOT Show, right? Yeah, that one was. It's not simple.
No,
but he's talking about slings in general.
Yeah,
they should be simple.
But that one intrigued me too. So if you get an extra Welsh, just my address.
I'll put it with the mount I owe you.
Oh yeah, you put it with the box that you've been collecting stuff in for 2 years.
I think it's something that if you train with, then you'll get to the point where you're super comfortable with it. So just train with it.
I think any sling that you're good with is a good sling.
And just have sling on QDs, because some sling work with no gear, some other work with gear.
Yeah. So Harry's asking Ed if he's going to go live tonight. So Ironside Army, sometimes he'll go live right after our live chat. We'll go on and show him some love over there.
I'll come watch with him. If you do, let me know, Ed. If you're doing it, I'll come join in.
Dr. Dole in the house.
Oh, Dr. Dole. Hey, we were just
medic.
We were giving you your whole the whole boat going down neighborhood analogy that you showed me a long time ago.
Bug out.
Caleb makes a good point. He says they can't do a buyback since they did not sell it to us. It's true.
Yes, I love that.
Says next week he's going to be doing a live. He's going to be doing a giveaway for a $50 Cabela's e-gift card and do some unboxings.
Hey, do you have any stupid rule like who can and can't win that? Because if I can win that, then I'm in.
No,
you can win it, Joe.
Sweet.
Remember, it'd be like his wife winning. Like, hey, I know we just did this, but my wife just won. Like, what?
Yeah, that's okay. If it was completely random. If you have a fancy little spinny wheel.
Oh my god.
Blue-haired, weak-kneed flower children. Oh, here you go, Joe. Wizard, 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 wizard dance magic, wizard truth boogs, wizard +1 level, wizard tact earth. There you go. That's what it's called, a Silcock key. Thank you. I forgot the name of it.
There you go.
Oh, and he says also hygiene, not just drinking, but hygiene.
Good thinking.
Bathing yourself over in the bank water.
No, I'm going to be as stinky as possible.
Harry says, Ironsight, what's hygiene?
And we talk about that in what people do out in the field, and clean people have a particular smell. Like, be aware of that, particularly when you're hunting. Like the things you think about when you go out hunting is, be dirty. Not necessarily like overly BO, but you want to have a natural.
I mean, no, people literally cover themselves in urine. So
or different things. So I'm not saying like clean. Clean is a smell that I could notice anywhere. Where I'm like, there was a very clean person who walked through here.
Yeah, I love the smell of fresh laundry.
Yeah, I'd be like, they went this way because I can smell them.
Not me. You'd be like, "Oh, don't go that way. Something's dead over there." That's what the Black Plague smells like.
Oh, can we talk about for a second the image I shared you guys, which was the garbage camo?
Oh yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
So there was a guy, and was super smart. So this guy, he had like his own ghillie setup, but it was just like cardboard boxes and just
like red Solo cups and trash.
Red Solo cups, and like the end of his silencer was a Coke can, and like he would just lay down, and you're just like, oh, look out! There's just a pile of trash over there. Like, who put all that crap there? And he just blending in his environment. Like, it just kind of broke my mind. Like, understand the environment you're in, whatever the environment is. If it's urban,
I'm gonna make a ghillie suit for San Francisco and put feces all over it.
Listen, if there was a poop suit, if there's a poop suit covered in trash, I'm not gonna go over and investigate that.
Right? I'm not gonna.
No.
I'm not gonna go see if there's something worthwhile in that pile.
That's probably just filled with poop.
And that was a joke. I'm sorry if I offended anybody. I didn't mean to offend you. I meant to make some people laugh.
Yeah.
All right.
It's funny.
We're at the end of our time here. We're coming up on an hour 30, guys. So let's start wrapping it up.
Okay, so we're not rude this time. Joe.
Oh, I actually recorded something, dude. I spray painted my rifle that I need to put that together and send it to you. Yeah, the budget gun. But I think I misspoke in the video. So when you see it, I think I said $200 for that. No, I know I said $200 for the upper, but I can't remember if I paid $200 or $300. I don't know.
It was $200. It was $199 for that radical.
It was, right?
Yeah, $199.
Because now I look it up and it's $319.
Yeah,
it's probably a different time though.
Okay, so I'm good.
Yeah.
It turned out okay. It's not the best paint job I've ever done, but is rattle can.
I think that's the cool thing about rattle can is like it can be seasonal. You know what I mean? Like, hey, this is a good winter camo, and then when it gets to be summertime, I'm gonna rattle can it for summer because those seasons change, and that's I have some paint schemes that are very seasonal. It's like that doesn't work all the time. Like I really need one that's just I can just continually just blast. Like okay, change it up for what the season is.
Yeah, I think it turned out pretty good. I've showed a couple people and they're like, "Holy cow!" Like my daughter thought it was Cerakote.
Oh, did she? Yeah, she knows though. She's like, "Did you do that?"
Yeah. She's like, "Oh, that looks really good," and I'm like, "That's spray paint." She's like, "No way."
Yeah.
So it turned out good.
All right, Jason, I'll go next so you can close us out. I'm working on for next week. I'm starting our Dangler series. We do all the HRT Sporin Dangler. And I'm hoping to have the Javelin Concepts rear pack. I know Arbor Arms put out a really cool one that we were geeking out about, but theirs is similar where you can actually remove it and then access it and then reconnect it just like the Arbor Arms one. So I'm hoping to show you guys.
Sounds like a backpack.
It was what?
Sounds like a backpack.
It sounds like a backpack, but yeah, it connects in your carrier. I think there's some pros and cons of just wearing a backpack, ditching it, whatever. But we're going to talk about it. It looks pretty cool. It's one of the rare few that actually is removable and accessible. Yeah.
Anytime that you talk about this, I think about that one guy that somebody makes something crazy and then he show a very simple way to do it, like just peeling a banana, and he goes,
"Yeah, I love that guy.
Love that dude."
That's
what I think every time you talk
mini
about
dangler. Well,
yeah, mini dangler. I have that one too. So that's going to be on the list. So all the danglers, I have the Pharaoh mini dangler. I like that one.
I think that was a penis reference joke.
Oh, well, there is a mini dangler, and I'm going to have to review it. So and get all your jokes in. But yeah, I'm working on that. If I don't get the Javelin Concepts pack to come in, I'm going to go ahead and just do the GBRS. The Jack pack. Yeah. If I don't get that in time, I'm just going to do the GBRS belt loadout. I'm going to show you guys how I have it loaded out, and then I'll do the actual review of it because everybody wants to see how it's loaded out, but I won't have time to do the whole belt review if I have to switch gears at the last second.
Sweet. So tomorrow I got my barrel and blade unboxing video that's going to be coming out, and then Sunday is going to be a MyMedic, their MyFac Pro. Going through what that all comes with. I was blown away with the stuff that it comes with. You're paying a premium, but I love a lot of the stuff that's in there. That's what we got this week. All right, guys. So hour and 30 minutes, like always. I know we tried to start wrapping stuff up after about an hour, and thoroughly enjoyed that you guys are here. You're letting us talk about stuff that we thoroughly enjoy and kind of stretching our knowledge as well. We appreciate that. So we are going to be here next Thursday, just like we are every Thursday night, 8:30 Central Time, 6:30 my time.
Yeah.
7:30 Mountain Time.
Yep.
We got a cool we got a cool outro, so don't hit any podcasts. I'll set up. So you say bye, and I'm going to run it.
Hands off. Bye.